Well, let's see if anybody shows up tonight. Oh, they changed the counters up there a little bit. Let's see what happens with that. Been a day or two since I've been live. We'll see what happens. While I'm waiting for a few people to come in, I'm going to go answer some Facebook stuff. Hey, there's one. What's up, Mike? Well, you're the only one here so far, so. But welcome. Thank you for coming by. It's been a day or two. Oh, man, I tell you, it's been busy. I've had so many things going on. I've been trying to. We took our first so-called second maiden voyage deal, I guess, in our fifth wheel last weekend. I'll tell you about it here in a little bit. I've been spending all my time getting it ready to go. Put tires on it and put a new set of stairs in it, fixed a few other things, changed all the inside lights to LEDs, which that was fantastic. Just trying to get things buttoned up to where it's usable again. What's up there, Steven? Interesting to note, they have changed. Oh, hate the bronchitis weather. Yeah, when you get up north, it was good about that. I can remember that oh so well. A little backstory. The only time I've had bronchitis, I was a senior in high school, and that's when I used to smoke too, so it made it even worse. But I got bronchitis over Christmas break, and man, I mean to tell you, I was absolutely miserable. So, and of course, I tried to smoke at the same time like a dumbass. But I was a kid. Well, Stephen, I don't know how many people are going to come in, so if not, I'll just tell the story again. So we we took the camper out for the first time in a couple years, and over Halloween, and we went to Savannah, Georgia. There's a campground up there that we really like. It's called Creek Fire RV Resort. It's a little on the pricey side, but the place is pretty cool. They've got all sorts of activities you can do. Excuse me. They've got a lazy river up there, 2 pools. One of them's heated. They got an activity room. In fact, they had the Florida Georgia football game on a big screen. They brought some people in to do that. It was pretty cool. But anyway, their Halloween thing they did on Friday night. So we actually had Halloween at the campground, and we bought a ton of candy. I think I did. I bought like 5 bags of the assorted stuff, because I figured there'd be a bunch of trick-or-treaters there. And for the most part, it wasn't too bad. There was probably 30 or so kids, 30, 40 kids, something like that. I thought it was going to be quite a bit bigger than that, but it wasn't. But so we ended up coming back with a whole crap load of candy. I told the wife when we got back, it says, you better hide that stuff because I don't need it. I don't want it. I have very little control over willpower for sweets, and that's one of my biggest problems. That's why I'm having trouble with being diabetic and everything else. But it sucks when you get older. There's only so much crap you can eat that's, you know, that you can get away with without actually trying to kill yourself. But had some cute kids. Oh my god, some of the outfits these kids had on were just freaking cute. Uh, had some that were a little bit too old to be trick or treating, and one that stood out to me was this freaking kid. I think she was probably 13 or 14, way too old to be trick or treating. She may have been 12 or something like that. But man, I tell you what, she thought she was all that in a bag of sack of tater chips. It was she she was dressed up in this cowgirl outfit, and um, if I were her parents, I guess that shows my age. She wouldn't have gone out like that. It was way too revealing for her age, and like I said, she was stuck up like nobody's business. I'm like, oh Lord, help her. Yeah, I understand that statement, Mike. Actually, I did pretty good on my weight the whole weekend, but anyway, when we got down to tell you the other part of the story, getting down there, so we get down there, no problems out of the truck whatsoever. Of course, Bertha just pulled that trailer like nothing. I mean, it just did so nice. Got down there and get backed into the campsite, and wife goes, "There's smoke coming out from underneath the hood." And I look over, and sure enough, if there's not smoke coming out of there, and I look underneath, and there's something going drip, 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 drip. I was like, "Shut it off." So she shuts it off, and I get under there, and I put my finger in it and kind of feel it, and I was like, "Son of a biscuit." That was brake fluid. Apparently, I had blown a brake line on that thing, and it's probably one of the last. I think it was the last two lines that I hadn't replaced yet. Um, and the bad thing is I have a whole kit sitting here at the house, but of course we were 3.5 hours away. I mean, I couldn't do anything with it. So, uh, anyway, so that kind of ruined the weekend because we were going to go into Savannah and go down on the river walk. Because if you ever been down there, it's just cool as all get out. Really neat stuff. Got a lot of cool shops down there. And so that kind of grounded us. And so we had to stick around the campground and, excuse me, try to enjoy it. And of course, the restaurant was that they had on site was book solid. But I thank the Lord that we had an angel with us that day because I know what happened. I know when it happened. Um, we were getting off of an off ramp and somebody cut us off. And of course, I'm with the trailer and I'm damn near standing on the pedal. And I'm sure that hydro boost and everything else just decided, yeah, we're going to push some fluid through there. And I think that's probably when it popped. Um, when I checked the fluid when I got there, of course, on them Silverados, they got a huge master cylinder reservoir. Well, that dude was below half when when we stopped. So anyway, so I had to search around it and find a place. I called. It was on Saturday that I called, and I found a guy that had good Google reviews and stuff like that. It wasn't too far away, and I was like, "Hey, do you think you guys can fix the brake line for me?" And because I wasn't about to crawl under there and do that on the asphalt, laying on my back, getting brake fluid all over me, and I just didn't feel like doing it. And I was like, so I found this guy, and he super nice guy. So if you're ever in the Richmond Hill area or Savannah, Georgia area, look these guys up. He's just a small shop. Just him and his brother run this place. Um, It's called Wheels Auto Works, and super nice guys, clean shop. Um, Brady and Pat are the guys' names. Pat's the owner, and Brady's his brother that works for him. And they got says, yeah, come in there Monday morning and about 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, and we'll get it looked at here and see what we can do. So I got in there at 9 o'clock, and of course they got it up in the air shortly after and said, yeah, and I knew where it was leaking. If you all know anything about the Chevy trucks, you know the BPMV, or they call it brake pressure modulator valve, which is the ABS unit. It's underneath the driver's door on the frame rail. And it had blown one of the two lines that go to the front wheels. And it was just pouring out of there. And like I said, those are the only two lines I hadn't replaced yet. I've replaced everything else. I was trying to kind of wait till I got the cab off to do that, but as fate has it, I didn't have any choice. So, needless to say, he had another job he had to get finished up this morning. He goes, well, so you got anywhere you can go? He says, I'm stranded, brother. That's my only form of transportation right now, and I'm down here, up here vacationing. And he says, okay. So I gabbed with him for a while. Super nice guy. Uh, he's uh, he's originally from up north, so he understands the rusty brake line thing. And we talked about the multiple brake lines we've had to replace over the years of doing technician. And like I said, I've got everything here at the house that I need to do brake lines. I've got fittings, I've got line, I've got my hydraulic flaring tool, which is the bomb, by the way. Uh, Best tool I ever bought. Um, but of course, it didn't do me any good when I'm 3.5 hours away. So anyway, they got started on it just after lunch. I bought the guys lunch, which was because I was just tickled they were able to get me in, and it took them right till about it was probably 4:30, almost 5 o'clock when he was done. Which they got a really nice lounge. They've got two different lounges in the place, and one of them had a pretty nice, comfy chair. And your old boy Smitty just passed out in that dude. I was really comfortable, and yeah, they got it done, and everything was kosher, and uh, got the bill, and I'm like, holy crap! Now I know why I fix all my own stuff. But it was reasonable. I mean, I can't complain too much. Especially for they had about 4 hours wrapped up in the job, and at $125 an hour, it's $500 worth of labor, and just minuscule parts. So almost $600 later, I was back on the road, which was one of those unexpected expenses that I didn't want to have to deal with. But uh, it is what it is. Um, I got it fixed, and when I told the wife, she goes, "Holy crap!" I was like, "Now you understand why I fixed everything, and I try to fix things because I know how much people charge, and I know that it's quite expensive. I have the capability to do it. Um, if I can get it done, I would do it. Now, if this would have happened up home, I would have just taken it up to work and had it and done it up there on one of the lifts. Um, and it probably would have taken me just as long. I mean, it's just the way it is. You mess with a northern truck like that, you're gonna have some issues with some rustiness. You are correct, Mike. They never go out at good times. But like I said, I was blessed that it happened when it did, and we weren't to a spot where we were really panicking and then had no brakes. Now, don't get me wrong, the trailer brakes work great on that fifth wheel. I mean, they they'll tighten down pretty hard if I need to, and they work good. So and all that was working. I went through and checked everything before we put it back on the road, and it was flawless. The hubs never got warm. The tires rode great. Here's another thing, and I'll throw that out to you. If y'all got a trailer and you buy the new uh, radial tires for trailers, balance them dudes. Uh, I know you guys think, well, it's just on a trailer, but I'm going to tell you, your tires are going to last longer if they're balanced. And for two, a lot of times that if they're not balanced, you'll feel it in the truck because it'll vibrate right up into the chassis of the truck, and you'll feel that thing bouncing around, and it'll rattle everything loose inside the trailer if you got a camper, so to speak. So, take a couple minutes, have them balanced. I balanced these new ones that I got, and they balanced out fantastic. Yeah, you should rotate them. Depends on how many miles you get on them and how often you use them. The tires I took off weren't worn out yet, but they were aged out. They were 8 years old, and they were starting to dry crack. I was like, on a trailer like that, I'm not going to take the chance with tires. You ought to be checking them at 5 years for any kind of defects, and definitely think about replacing them every 7 years, whether or not you're using it or not. Because they're the same way on any kind of car too. Believe it or not, you get a tire on a car that's 7 years old and it's not wore out, more than likely it's dried out and it won't have the same traction as a newer tire will because that tire is cured. A tire doesn't actually finish. It's actually still pliable when the thing is brand new. You can sink your fingernail into a brand new tire because they're that soft. But after the heat cycles and so many times, that tire will cure and it'll get hard, and then it won't have the traction uh, capabilities it did when it was new. Oh Lord, no. No, I wouldn't do that. Um, that's just asking for a blowout. It's not necessarily the tire itself. It's the fact that some of those aren't made to put tubes in, and I would not do that on anything. To me, it's not worth it. We had a yeah, I don't think I would either. We had we still have it. We have a landscape trailer, and we bought it used. I didn't know the age of the thing anyway, but the wife happened to we took the tractor out to um, when we were living up north. We took it out to Centerview, which is a little over an hour away from us. We took the tractor out there to get serviced because it was still under warranty, and I had a few things to get done on it. And when it was done, she went out there and picked it up, and she got it picked up and was on her way back, and she lost a tire on the trailer. It just let go, and I didn't even hesitate. I just bought 4 brand new tires, and on those, I mean, it had some little bitty ones, but it had regular car tires on it. So, I mean, it specifically doesn't have trailer tires on it, but it's got some uh, radial kind of straight tread, highway tread tires, which will work for that application. Now, if I was doing like a fifth wheel, I wouldn't do that. But they're getting to the point where even though they're nowhere close to being aged out or worn out, they're aged out. Just like my enclosed trailer, if I have to start using it, I'm going to have to put tires on it because they're aged out. It's not worth taking the risk of having a tire blow out and tear up the trailer, tear up whatever you got in, possibility of losing control of the trailer. No, not worth it. Not worth it. Your your new 95 Ford Aspire. Well, that car's not exactly new, Mike, but yeah, 13s are like a needle in the haystack anymore. Nothing runs 13s anymore. There was a guy that I was watching that was restoring a Fiero, an 85 Fiero 2M4. I can't remember what the kid's name is, but he's real talented for his age. And he went through this car from top to bottom, and it had 13s on it too, and he had trouble finding 13s for it. I don't remember what he ended up doing, but anyway, now that I've talked everybody's ear off, and there's only 2 of you left in here, so what's been going on with your all's end of the world? 28,000 original miles. Hell yeah. 4-door hatchback, 1 liter, 5-speed. So is it a 3-cylinder? Or is it a 4-cylinder? Same old crap, huh? What do y'all think is going to happen here come Tuesday? Four-cylinder, but barely. Yeah. What y'all think about Tuesday? I gotta know what you all thinking. Somebody put a poll out there that says, "What do you think it's going to be? A wave, a hurricane, or a tsunami?" And I answered a freaking tsunami. That's what I'm hoping for, anyway. I'm hoping it's an utter embarrassment for the other side. I mean, that's just what I'm hoping happens. But we shall see. I think what really bothers me is the fact that I was listening to the Economic Ninja. Well, yeah, I wouldn't pass it up either for $1,200. I'm trying to find a golf cart. Not that I'm changing subjects here, but I found one on Marketplace, and I can't. The guy won't send me back. from my buddy here. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right. Yeah, Mike, I lost my retirement fund when I had to bail out my shop. Uh, got myself in a bit of a financial pickle when I had my shop, and I ended up depleting my retirement fund, which was probably pretty stupid, but I didn't know what else to do at the time. Um, I'm a guy that never got a business degree, and I knew I knew how to take care of customers. And I knew the basics of running a shop. But as far as making everything work financially, um, I basically winged it, and I did pretty well with it. I don't think it's a complete. It's not a loss. It's a learning experience by far. So I would know what to do if for some stupid reason I decided to do another business, which it won't happen. I can't. Closest thing I can do is something here at the house, where I don't have to have the overhead and I don't have to have employees or anything like that. It doesn't work because there's not another one of me. And I'm pretty anal on my work. I am. Wow. My dad had back surgery and nothing was right ever since. My wife's had back surgery and things haven't been right ever since. I think I'll just learn to live with what I got. You know what I'm saying? Checking something here. Chevrolet. Medium duty. That's cabin chassis. No. RPO code list. L18. It doesn't show an L21. Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry, guys. Hang with me here just a second. My buddy's got my mind going here. Chevrolet P32 RV van. Oh, crap. That's not going to tell me anything. Um, 5 Chevrolet. Do they have P series on that? Wait a minute. 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 2002. I don't think they had the Kodiak in 2002. 2003, I think it was the first year for the Kodiak. That must have been a medium duty then. .8 was an Isuzu engine. Okay, if I knew what I know, I'd be. Yeah, me too, Mike. New video on deck. No, Steven. Right now I'm in the middle of doing 2 custom transmissions for people. I am recording them, but I have not had a chance to edit anything yet. There is one it loaded, but I haven't had a chance to finish it either. I've basically, by the time I'm done, I'm going to have 3 build videos. Probably split them up because they're super freaking long. Throat's getting dry. And once I get done with these transmission builds, then I'm going to start getting editing done. And then hopefully I'm going to start working on my own stuff. I keep taking these projects on for somebody else because I want to help, and they've asked me to build them. And um, of course, it makes it a whole production when you record the process. But I do it for two reasons. For one, for the customer to be able to see it, and for two, to cover my butt so I know what I've done. That way I know exactly what I did on each one of the builds, and they'll be able to see that. So um, that is the whole process behind it, and I've got so much to do. Um, Trying to get it done. I need to get I need to get Scarlet moved around. I need to have a garage sale again. I got a whole bunch of stuff I've got to get rid of. Stuff I don't use. And as much as I hate to do it, I've discussed this with the wife several times, but I think I'm going to sell my two-wheeler. I just don't have time to ride it anymore. And it just sits in the garage collecting dust. So I might as well free up a little bit of cash because I'm going to need it when I start building it. I've got Bertha I've got to get done. And I'm going to have to put an air conditioner in my house. So I don't know how I'm going to do that just yet. I told the wife, I says, if things get bad enough, I may end up having to sell the Honda. Don't want to do that either, but man, I don't know how I'm going to come up with the cash. Because I don't want to take out any loans. That's the worst thing you want to get involved in right now, especially with the way our economy is going. You don't want to be tied down to something. Steven, the golf cart. No, we're looking for one that we can take camping with us. Some of these campgrounds we got, some of the amenities are quite some distance away, and it's easier. Yes, we could do everything in the camper self-contained, but I can double tow. When we bought that camper, I had a custom hitch made and installed on the camper. So I can pull as much on that camper as I want. Damn it. I need to start drinking something besides water, apparently. And so, yeah, we just want something we can take with us camping to tool around through the campground and what have you. It will have George Jones' autograph inside sound hole tape marks from the song list. I don't know what that is. Oh. Hey, Brian, what's happening? I do have a heat pump in my house. The I think the compressor's getting ready to shoot craps. I'm not sure yet. So I'm trying to get something done before the end of the year because I've been told by several people that the HVAC equipment is going to skyrocket after the first of the year. So I've been trying to get something set up. I got a quote from one of the people that usually service my HVAC here, and about the middle of the road setup, they're wanting almost $9,000 for a system. Well, that's cool as all get out. Tommy, yo, what's up, brother? Mike on the speed governor. The only way you can do that is have somebody that knows HP tuners and go in there and eliminate it. The reason why they put the speed governor in there is the tires. You have to they're rated for whatever the tire is. So usually, like if you got an H rated tire, like on my Z24s that I had, those damn cars would do every bit of 120 mile an hour, but that's where they'd stop. And that's because they had a 130 mile an hour tire on it. Same with my Corsica that I had. My Corsica was an LT, and it came with H-rated tires on it, and it would bury the speedometer at 120. That was as far as it would go, and then it hit the speed limiter and shut off. So, and that was old technology. That was the old 2.8 liter V6. God, I could only imagine what you could do with those cars now if you still had one around. You can still find a Beretta now and again, and some of them are in pretty decent shape. I really liked the GTZ Berettas. They looked good. They didn't handle too bad either for being an L car. And the reason why I say L car is that's the chassis that was designed. They shared that platform, similar to the N car, which was the Grand Ams, and the Cavaliers in that one had a similar chassis design. They were considered a J car, but they were all mid mount racks. In other words, the rack and pinion bolted to the firewall, and then you'd steered from the center. They had long tie rods, but anyway. So I tried to get out there and do a little building yet tonight on one of the 4L65s I got. Used to own Ric Flair's 2010 supercharged SS Camaro. Woo! He's a strange duck. Man, that boy, that old boy loved to drink. Right? Uh, yeah, that old boy loved to drink. You know, John Cena is a huge car nut. He's got some yeah, he's got some hell of rides. I think he had a company, I don't remember who did it. I think it was that shop, it was down in Texas. Uh Managed his stuff in LS and an MG, and it all under the hood too. Cool stuff. Um Couple really big car buffs. You know, Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top, a huge car nut. Jay Leno's one of those guys that I've always liked to meet, and man, he's unbelievably huge car nut. Yep, a huge car nut. Um, if I had money, I'd be a huge car nut. I'd probably be divorced, but I'd still be a huge car nut, bigger than what I am now. I mean, I got dreams, but I don't know if they'll ever come true. I mean, I've been trying, but um, I just dream that, excuse me, everything's right in the world. And hey, you've got another new one, Badass Speed, of the Ric Flair car on this channel. Oh yeah, very cool. There was they had some pictures that showed up on um, I don't know if it was TikTok, or I think it was um, YouTube Shorts. There was a badass third gen Camaro that was on there. Um, had some custom fab work done underneath the hood for panels, and had a custom um, louver set up that was actually mounted on the engine instead of the hood. And man, this thing was slicker than snot. Oh, it was great. Good looking car. When growing up, when I was in my late teens, early 20s, um, I listened to all sorts of music. Yeah, guys, all sorts of music. And I did listen to some occasionally rap. And of course, everybody knows Sir Mix-a-Lot. And that popped in my head today, and I had freaking Sir Mix-a-Lot playing at the shop. But it was just, it kind of reminds me of growing up and not having near as much to worry about than you do now. I mean, it's just when you were young, you didn't have to worry about much of anything, which was nice. Not so much the case anymore. It's funny how that works, isn't it? But anyway, yeah, I'm getting anxious to get some things moved around on my part and start getting my stuff done. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. It does. And unfortunately, it happens to all of us. I mean, none of us are immune to it. I mean, it's just the way it goes. And the thing is I'm not afraid to die. I mean, if something happens and uh, it's my time to go, then that's what's going to happen. Now, don't get me wrong. I do have fears of the way I die. Of course, nobody likes to fall off of anything, and I am deathly afraid of heights. Do not like to fly. I will, but I don't like to fly because I'm putting my trust in somebody else that's going to get me there in one piece. Um, don't like being on top of tall buildings. Uh, don't like being anywhere close to an edge of a rock or anything like that. That's way high up. It just it makes me extremely uneasy. Um, you know, one of the, I have a feel tight spaces. You get me in a tight space and I can't move or can't get around. Yeah, I'll start to panic. Um, but what is this? Oh boy. All right. Well, I think I'm about to talk myself out tonight. Besides that, my throat's getting so dry. The water ain't helping none. May have to get something a little bit thicker. But I totally appreciate y'all coming in and at least dropping in and saying hi and giving me the thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And I know it's been a day, so hopefully we can get back in rhythm. And next week I'll do another stream, and maybe we'll have some good things to talk about next week. So y'all make sure to take care of yourself, take care of each other. God bless you, and God bless this great America. So we'll see you again soon. Goodbye.